Hello and welcome to Adventures in Neurodiversity. I'm Curtis Valvo. I'm a husband, father, and a peers social skills group instructor with 2 decades of working with neurodiverse children, teens, and young adults. My co-host is my good friend Dwayne Howell. He's an author, speaker, autism advocate, and father to 4 children, 3 of which are neurodivergent. We started this podcast to empower and enlighten parents and educators of neurodiverse children. So join us as we explore the intricacies, the nuances, hilarity, and unique challenges of raising and educating individuals with such diverse, unique, incredible, and occasionally challenging differences. We hope these conversations are a breath of fresh air, optimism, and humor from 2 very immature but well-intentioned fathers. Welcome to Adventures in Neurodiversity.
If you can pick it up and just talk to him. I'll talk to him. Maybe it'll get him off your back.
Hey, dude.
Yeah, we'll just leave this in.
I'm in Edmond with Mr. Curtis.
For your podcast?
Yeah, what's up, Harrison?
Can you say hi to Mr. Curtis?
Say hi. Well, bye, Curtis.
Bye.
Grover.
Grover.
Harrison! Oh, where are you calling us? We're doing a recording.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, but Mom is with Libby. They're got to go shopping. She'll be home in a minute.
What time?
She'll be home at 47:89.
Mom will be home at what time?
She'll be home in an hour. 1 hour.
Where's Mom and Libby at?
They're at the nail shop in Mustang, Oklahoma on 152 and Highway 4.
Well, bye, Dad.
Well, bye, Harrison.
Grover. Oh my god. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised that he remembered that. And that's
God.
like instantly, oh
Yes.
my god, we used to do the Grover voice all the time. He loved that. Holy crap, that's amazing.
Crap, but I can't remember because you had such a great. You were rolling.
Oh, dude, man, no, that was great. No, that stayed in. That's amazing. Grover. Oh, that's old school.
More than anything, I think the question that Danielle and I were talking about is like, because you've been in this for a long time and you've seen a bunch of different things that have come up, but
Yeah.
what is I guess because I'm trying to think of a nice way to put it, is there something wrong with you that you've stuck in this industry forever? Because as parents, we look at it and you go through all this stuff,
Yeah.
and it's like, when is enough? When there's things that adversities that come on to us, but you're seeing them from a totally different level.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going towards, assisting and moving him towards some stuff, but what has been the thing that
What's
really
wrong with me?
Yeah, what's
Why I
wrong
haven't
with
left
you?
yet?
Why aren't you aren't you? Yeah.
Why haven't I just become a banker?
Why aren't you wearing sweaters and drinking lattes?
Oh
And
my God.
instead, you're in here spinning your.
It's like D20. Don't make fun
Yeah,
of me.
and you got your freaking awesome dinosaur sweater.
I don't know. I mean, we don't have enough time to probably go into what's wrong.
What's wrong with
me.
you?
I mean, that would literally be an entire series that could probably be done on that. No, I don't know. I mean, short answer, I don't know. It's hard, but it's rad. And the net gain to me on a moral level of purpose outweighs the very heavy, hard, times and moments for sure. I mean, it's certainly not all, sunshine and rainbows, and it's hard. There's a lot of hard, heavy moments that are in there, but I don't know. I'm just one of those weird optimist kind of people. I try to find the good in the difficult. I try to find the beautiful moments in the pain. I try to find all that kind of deepy stuff. So I don't know. And I started off, I think, without rose-colored glasses, where I think a lot of people get into it not realizing the weight of what they're about to embark on. Mm-hmm. And my first day on the actual job, I don't know if I've ever told you this before. So when I got that job as an HTS worker, the first guy that I got connected with was an 18-year-old. So I was 19. It would have been freshman year in college. He was a high school senior. So he was just 1 year behind.
Yeah.
And he was on the spectrum, awesome guy, awesome family. But day one, I got the job, met the parents, Beautiful family, they were great, and they were like, well, today he has a swim lesson at the OC, the Oklahoma Christian College down the street. And every week he goes at this day and time, and he has a private swim instructor, and he runs his laps, and it's just good exercise for him. So if you could take him to that and make sure he gets back home, the easy first day. I'm like, I can do that. Go hang out at a pool, play taxi. I got this.
Why not?
I go to the pool, and we walk in the door, and I walk in, and there's an entire women's water aerobics class happening. And I'm like, okay, weird moment, but like, come on, bud, And he was verbal, but low verbal. He had a lot of echolalia, so a lot of like repetitions in his language, but we were able to communicate. Even initially, we were able to kind of find a way to communicate. So walked him over, and I'm like, looking, I'm like, okay, I don't see any like lap lanes. I don't see anybody else just like swimming. It is just a bunch of like old women like doing their little water aerobics things. And there was a lifeguard off to the side. And I was like, okay, all right, hey, well, come with me, bud. Let's walk over. Let's go figure this out. And I had asked him, like, is this where we're supposed to be? And I probably said yes or something, or just repeated what I said.
Yeah.
I was just like, okay, well, we'll figure it out, man. Go over, talk to the lifeguard. And so I walk over, and he's like right next to me. And then so walk over, I'm like, hey, how's it going? I'm supposed to be here for his swim lesson, this, that, and the other. And I just start talking to the thing. And within 7 seconds of beginning to talk to the lifeguard, of course, out of my peripheral vision, he disappears, and all I hear coming from behind me is a splashing sound and a woman scream, "Dear God, he pushed the baby in the pool!" And I turn and look and realize there was a mom who was part of the water aerobics class, had her baby in a carrier, like a car seat kind of carrier, on the edge of the water of the pool. All right, I didn't even catch that coming in. Didn't even dawn on me. And later, I learned my dude who I was working with had an affinity for watching things splash in water. It was a visual stem for him, right?
Harrison throws rocks in. Yes.
Right. You just enjoy the splash, enjoying the ripples. It was just a little stem. But I assume, because I assumed he had no idea, wasn't paying attention, didn't realize, no, there's a living baby inside of this thing. Fully walked over and just threw the baby in the pool. And just instinctually, I mean, it's like slow motion, like it's so ingrained in my brain. I'll never forget these moments. It was like, hey, he's got his thing here, dear God, baby in the pool. And it was just like the flash, like a scene out of a movie, just like slow motion. And I just leap fully into the water and raise the baby out, because they were 20 feet away. They weren't able to get there. So I ran, jumped into the water, bring the baby out of the water, get him out of the strap, checking out the baby. The mom comes over, smacks me and grabs her baby. The poor guy, the guy I was working with, is just on the side of the pool, fully panicking. He knows something did not go the way it was meant to be here. And so they're all these old women screaming at me. I'm getting out of the pool, I'm soaking wet in normal clothes. They're all yelling at me. I'm trying to explain what's going on. I'm trying to make sure he's safe, because he's starting to panic, and I can tell he's having a hard time. So I'm trying my best to soothe him, trying to calm them down, trying to explain. 3-4 minutes later, the father comes in from the gym.
Oh, sweet
who
Larry.
was working out at the time.
Let me tell you, he's glistening and beefy and ready to just
yoked, 40-year-old dude, just fully fully stretched, fully engaged, ready,
butt cheeks and veins in him,
ready to go on a fight, and I'm 19-year-old, and fully he ran and was attempting to fight my guy, my client, and I had to jump in between, push him back, start grabbing, holding him, trying to explain what's happening to him. My guy's just I felt so bad for him. He was just fully freaking out in the corner. And I'm just trying to keep this entire pool of old women who were screaming and yelling, this dad who was trying to fight him, and now me in the process. And just the chaos mode. But I was able to get everybody to calm down enough. The baby was, of course, completely fine.
Yeah.
I got there within 2 seconds at the most. So
Isn't that how they train babies to swim in a way?
Yeah, I think they have an instinct where they hold their breath, and I don't think it even fully got under, because it floats for a second. It wasn't just to the bottom of the pool. So it was just slowly starting to go under, Titanic style. So I think I got it before the head even got wet, I hope. But dear God. So that was my first day on the job. You know what I mean?
I want more of this. What
That was
the
my-
hell is wrong with
Yeah.
you?
That was my first. Yeah, and it's really amazing to go like, and then I came back for more. You know what I mean?
That was
Yeah,
fun.
yeah. No, it was terrifying. It was terrifying, but at the same time, it kind of just is like okay, this is gonna be more intense than potentially what you may have.
So you
imagined.
went away from going to like back alleys and having people punch you in the face
Yeah.
to
Yeah,
throwing
just to make me
babies-
feel alive from time to time.
throw babies
But
in
other
the
than
pool
that,
and-
but other than that, no. So I think that's part of it too. Of why I don't know. I have one of those brains where it's like I'm not gonna just give up because things are hard.
But that's the beauty of what you just said. I mean, you went through that right there, which
Yeah.
no one can. That's I can't
intense.
top your story.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Because
It's
if
a
you
good
had that
one.
moment,
Yeah.
but you came back. You know, if it can't get any worse than this. I
And that's
just
kind of
dumped
what
a
I
baby in a
It's
pool.
kind of what I thought. It hasn't really, knock on wood, haven't had to get any babies out of pool or fight anybody for my clients since then. So I mean, in some ways, I'm like, maybe this was for the best. That was just a way of going like, all right, we're gonna throw you in like at the like most crazy, challenging, difficult kind of situations. Everything else is gonna be a cakewalk.
The thing that I liked about what we talked about last time when we sit down is just the beginnings of your story. To me, that was again solidified the reason why I wanted to do anything and everything with you in starting this process. So I mean, I hope it's not cheesy to ask you to do that again, but just taking me on your
Taking me on the
journey,
journey.
just as far as when did you feel that you that this was the path that you were going to take, and how did it start? Kind of just like
Sure. Yeah.
give me your story.
Yeah, what's my story? Cut scene, cut
Cutscene.
to Curtis, 18 years old, giant Jinko pants with 80-inch waist, or whatever bottoms, ridiculous. Spiked hair with bleached tips, which was all the rage in 2000 in the like punk rave community. Living my best life, but on a playground at a school for kids with special needs. And I'm out on the playground pushing a kid on the swings. I'm glad I finished that. I was like, pushing a kid. That was a
Pushing
weird
him
pause.
down.
I was pushing a kid on the swings. And I was pushing him on the swings. He had cerebral palsy. He was probably like 6. It was like a pre-K. I think it was like pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade. It was like just like a little, itty bitties. And I was like pushing him on the swing, and they told me like he loved the swings. It was like his favorite part of the day, recess, getting to go out there and swing, but he couldn't swing himself.
Yeah.
And so I was out there and pushing him, and I was like, I feel like he could do this, Like I know he's got, it's gonna be some like a little challenging, but I feel like surely this dude can figure out how to swing his legs and get the momentum, right? Like I was like, I believe he can do this, and so I just got on the swing next to him and just sat there and like showed him like, okay, once I get you that first push, here's what we do with our body. Here's how we swing it to kind of keep the momentum going and all that stuff, and kind of did the whole thing, and like over a span of like a week or two. Did it, and one day I'm out there, I'm like, boom, there's your first swing. All right, this is all on you, go, And he started doing it, and he started swinging, and it was like the most incredible.
Look
like,
what I've just accomplished.
oh my God, like you could just see this, just like, I'm doing it, like he was just so proud of himself, and that was like a in my head of like, wow, that was rad. I feel really good. So initially that was like the first thing, but it was like, wow, that felt really good to help somebody.
Yeah.
So anyway, so kind of cut scene to that, and that was when I was like, whoa, that was cool. So like cut scene to me, doing that. Before that, I was not exactly, on the path towards, going to college and doing something of this nature, like by any means.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At like 16, 17, 18, full party mode. I was out like clubbing and raving and the punk scene and, just being what 17 should be. I was just living my best life, just having a blast, having fun, and partying and doing all kinds of stupid things that now I'm like, oh my God, I cannot believe I was doing these things. But at the same time, wasn't exactly on that path. And because I had a very strong, like always as a kid, just like a very strong, like probably what now people say like social justice kind of mentality, like fairness and equity and things like that. And of course, as a kid in high school, like there's all kinds of things that are like not equitable. And there's all kinds of stupid rules that make no sense, and all kinds of hierarchies.
You're all Rage Against the Machine.
You know, full blown. Oh yeah, 100%. I was in that mode. And so, I was smart. My grades were great. My attendance was good. I wasn't like doing anything that bad, but man, I had a mouth on me. Like if I saw a teacher who was treating somebody differently, treating somebody poorly, or if I saw like an injustice in the way that rules were being administered across the population of students, like I couldn't just sit back. I had to like, let me get my placard out and like it's time to like start something. And so I got into a lot of trouble for like talking very disrespectfully often. You know, I learned over the years how to be more mature and better handling those kinds of situations. But at the time, I did not know that. I had to learn the hard way. And so I was at Edmond Memorial here in town, and they, after 2 years, were like, respectfully, will you please go away? You know? And so, I mean, basically, that was what they were saying. Because I was spending so much time in in-school suspension. I was getting suspended but not for like fighting or like selling drugs or something horrible. It was just like, he just won't stop.
You're fighting the man.
Yeah, fighting the man. Like we can't run a functional school. And now I look back and I'm like, you had every right to do that. I was not exactly handling that in the most mature way. So then they were like, all right, well, go over, there's this Project Hope at Francis Tuttle. You can do a VOTEC in the morning and do your academics like in the afternoon. Bada bing, bada boom. Went and I did that for a year. I actually really enjoyed it for the most part, but then kind of ran into the same issues, slightly different issues, but still kind of overall, once again, was very respectfully asked, will you please go somewhere else?
If you will leave, we will do this for you.
This would be great if you would just not come here anymore. And so finally it was like last ditch effort. It was either like, all right, I'm going to go get a GED at this point, because I was like 17, I was like, like almost to the point of graduation. My grades were great. It was never an issue. And so then I went to Boulevard Academy here in Edmond, which is like the alternative school. Yeah. And so it was, for most of the kids around me, it was a very different kind of situation for them. There was like teen moms who were needing a place to go to be able to finish out their school and get their degrees. There was any number of other guys who were there for, I would say, more significant things that were getting them removed from the school. And then there was just like me, and I'm like, guys, all right, I guess I'll do my homework now. And there was this awesome teacher who passed away a few years ago. And after I was there for a couple months, she was like, hey, you need a credit, some random credit for graduation, but we have this like work study program, and you could go to this school and be like a teacher assistant, and you'll get to get credit, and it will help you graduate faster. And of course I was like, yeah, let's go. So I went and I did that, kind of at the time even realizing the innate, not hypocrisy, what's the word, of like the innate like comedy of sending a kid like me to go be a teacher's assistant under like what my last 4 years of high school had been, where I was like fighting the school.
You're like today's Ted Lasso.
And then suddenly today I'm now a part of the system, being a TA and like somehow responsible for kids, which was hilarious, but like, God works in funny ways. So yeah, went there, and then throughout that process, like all those teachers there were just like, you're so good with these kids, man. Like you're just, there was like a deaf kid who like didn't have a father in the picture, and he just like instantly gravitated towards me. And I'm very paternal by nature, it's just my nature. I'm very much a like the shepherd mentality, like come here, little buddy, I got you, And so had that kid, and there was the kid with CP who had inevitably I taught to swing, which was like a big eye-opening moment, and all that kind of stuff. So that was where like the first time where I was like, oh, all these people are telling me I'm really good at a thing, and this thing is good, because people told me like, oh, you're funny, or oh, you're this, or oh, you're that, but nobody ever been like, oh, you're really good at a thing that could actually like be a positive force in this world, And I think like all people, I think on some level, we yearn for that purpose. You know what I mean? We yearn for doing something, connecting to something higher than ourselves.
Well, the thing is that you're looking at is that you're guarding those kids from like the evils that they face all the time,
Yeah.
or just the negativity, and you're kind of like you said, you're that mindset, that spirit of pulling them in like that, and that's kind of just the beauty of
For sure.
Kurtai.
Yeah. So did that, and I think that was kind of like the initial like, oh, maybe this is what I could do. Because before that, I was basically like, I have no idea what I'm gonna do with my life. You know, I thought maybe tattoo artist. That was kind of like what I was planning on. I was already like tattooing myself in science class, like prison style, like junior year of school. Like it was not making smart choices. And so that was the first. I was like, all right, well maybe this is like a thing because I really do enjoy this, and I was really fascinated by it. And so then, after that moved on, I was like, all right, going to college. I guess I'm gonna do the college thing after all because this is where I feel like I'm being led. And went and then kind of switched up majors. Started like everybody. I'm gonna be a psychology major. Started there. Did a bunch of classes, then I was like, that's so much school. I do not want to have to do 12 years of school or whatever. So the sheer just like laziness of just like, I do not want to do 8 years of schooling in order to do something. And so then I was like, well, let me try like sociology because I found that really fascinating, just studying people and groups and all that kind of stuff. Switched in that and then loved it, but realized, the only thing I can do with a job with a degree in sociology is teach sociology. There's not a lot of like application for that job. And so then I was like, all right, okay, then I guess I'll try special ed, because that was kind of initially where I wanted to go. Loved it, loved the classes, did like almost 2 years of special ed coursework. And then ultimately, I didn't feel like I was being led in that way of managing a classroom. And there was so much rules and so much dogma and so much like, you got to do it this way. And you just kind of have to do what the district's telling you or what the federal government thing is telling you. And I've always just been a person of like, I just want to do what I feel like is the right thing to do, regardless of what the like overarching system is telling me to do. I want to be able to trust my gut and just do what I feel is right in those moments, and not be held to, you gotta do it this way. You gotta get in the box. You know what I mean? If you wanna play the game, get in the box. And there was just such that instinct, rage against the machine, still part of me in my psyche to be like, I don't want to get in the box. You know what I mean? Like at all costs. Like I get the point of the box, and I'll get in there to like learn the things, but then I want to like crawl back out of the box so that I can use what I think works and what's functional, but not be held confined in that respect. So then I moved on, and that's when I found speech therapy, and I was like, okay, this is it. This is putting like all my favorite little nerdy things. You've got the anatomy bits of it. You've got the like psychology bits of it, the like social aspects of it. It like kind of like fused all the little passions that I had. I was like, this is it. So loved that, fell in love with that, did the program, and then got myself set up and boom, 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 and then eventually fell in love with social groups, which I was doing like speech stuff and liked it, but there was something special when I had my first, I got like 2 of the clients together to work on like social pragmatic language stuff. And there was just like this like spark moment. And I was just like, oh, this is like so much fun. Like they're so much more engaged with each other, more than they would be just sitting at a table across from me. We can work on so many different things. There's that peer learning element to it. There's so many awesome bits to like the social aspect. And after that, that's all I've done for 15 years now, I think, is just purely run social groups. No, man, I'm super, super lucky to get to do what I do. I mean, it's like, it's ridiculous, like it's hard.
We're super lucky. I mean, that's the thing. We're lucky that you think this is fun and lucky you're part of it.
Well, I do. Well, I mean, I've made it fun because I've built something from scratch and did it my way, kind of a thing. Like, I was able to make it to where it's like, it's good for everyone. You know what I mean? Myself included. If I have to be here 11 hours a day, I want my office to be a cool place that I want to hang out in 11 hours a day. If I'm a 14-year-old dude, or my 16-year-olds who drive themselves to group, I want them to go to a place where go, cool, this is actually a fun place to hang out. I actually want to be here because I just truly believe like you can't. All true change must come from within. There's no amount of external carrots that are ever going to create meaningful change inside of a person unless it comes from.
I've chased too many plastic carrots.
So
I'm going to say something that is probably on every guidance counselor's wall and some cheesy little high school somewhere, but
little kitty cat, just hang in there.
Kind of hang in there, Kind of like the Goldbergs. And I turn around and talk to them. Hang in there, buddy. But the one that says, and I don't know what I'm trying to think, what would the picture be on this one? But it's the saying that if you love what you do, you'll never work another day in your life. And that's the truest. I tell my kids that every day. try everything.
Yeah.
Don't say no to anything. Try everything,
Yeah.
and realize that if you love what you do, you will never go to work. And I can see that. I mean, I'm jealous of you in a lot of ways.
It's work.
Is that
I don't know if I fully...
it is work,
it's
but you
work.
make the work look so fun.
Well, it can be fun.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then there's times when it can't be. There's times there's certain things that are just hard and you just gotta like go through it or whatever. But no, it's super fun. And I've been able to just build it out in a way that I thought was, you know, appropriate and again, like natural. Like I do my best to try to create like a natural vibe in an unnatural situation, right? Like to recreate the feeling of when I was 14 and going over to my buddy's house after school before his parents got home, and we were all just like hanging out in his room, just riffing and goofing off and listening to music and hanging and just like, to me, that was what like teenage friendships like are about, you know what I mean, in that age. And so to try to recreate like that same feeling of like, no, this is a cool place and we're having fun and I'm with people who get me and I can do stupid stuff and I can be funny and people will laugh, or I can do something stupid and it not be funny and no one's gonna judge me that hard for it because these are my boys, you know, like whatever it might be. And so like to help create that and then balance like, okay, yeah, you know, we're not just here to hang out and have fun, you know, but we're here to like learn some stuff. But even inside of that, like, okay, well, how can I make learning as fun as possible? You know what I mean? How can I make the things I'm doing my best to impart upon them, the knowledge, the wisdom, I call it old man Curtis wisdom, you know, and the wiggle. Like, what are those things that I want to do? I try to like figure out how can I do that in a way that's engaging and fun and interesting, or a way they'll actually remember. Because I feel like so much stuff just in one ear and out the other, just teens in general, you know. But like to do, you know, the lessons or try to do the things, you know. So like I create a lot of the videos, you know, part of the peers. Curriculum is like using video modeling and video footage of people in social interactions, doing it, you know, fairly well versus making, you know, maybe certain kinds of, not mistakes, but differences that will, you know, maybe make it harder, you know, being less effective in their communication. But their videos are like so bad. Even they acknowledge it. They're like, we're working on these guys. We're gonna try to make some new videos for y'all.
They're doing it,
you know. But like I do it. I was just like, okay, I can do better than this. So like I'll make my own. I'll like grab in my coworkers and be like, hey, can I jump you in for like to pretend to have this thing, and then I'll film these things. But then I can put them on the screen, and it's like me doing a bunch of stupid stuff or doing things that I see them doing, but then in a more like obvious comedic kind of a way, so they can start to connect like. Oh, I see what he's doing there. Yeah, I do that sometimes. Maybe that, you know, because it's like trying to get them to see it where they are like, all right, I want to do better about that without just being told to do it. Because I feel like there's just an instinct for teens and tweens in general. Like if somebody tells you to do something, instantly you're just like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just an instant like no or why.
Yeah.
Why do I got to do that? You know what I mean? So like I've always tried to have my approach of like. You do whatever you want to do, all right? You're your own human. You have autonomy. If you don't want to do this stuff, don't do it. But, like, in the event you're wanting to be more effective in communicating with people or more effective in maintaining friendships, you know, long term, well, here's some of the stuff other people are doing that is pretty effective and seems to help.
The thing that like I've talked to you about before, you said it and we've talked about it before, but it was like you've got a table such as this little tribunal of military minds all together. This is the Earth before Curtis. This is 1 week after Curtis. This is 1 month after Curtis. She's taking over the world. But that's the thing that we see. So one of the things that I talk to parents about is these moments. And there was a story I used to always talk about, and it was a farmer that was bringing in a farmhand, and he was showing him the different workings of the farm. Walked into the chicken coop and opened it up. And it's like, you know, you're getting the eggs, you're doing this, you're doing that. And he noticed, and the hand's like, what's the matter there? And I looked over, and there was a hen that was laid over. And noticed that there was markings on this hen. And he's like, well, you know, that one, the snake had gotten to her. So I'm going dark here. I'm going really dark.
Yeah.
So a snake. But what had happened is you peel back, and that snake had bitten. She's not dead, but had bitten this poor hen.
Aww.
But you look down, and all her babies are underneath, totally protected.
Aww.
So it's like the thing is, parents that we go through, we guard our children from all the stuff that's out there, the negativity, just all of the moments of like, you know, IEP moments when you walk in and automatically like, well, your child doesn't do this or this right. They're obnoxious, and they don't start it off with a sense of, here's the strengths of what we notice. Here's some obstacles. Once you get to that point, you get it. But we're guarding our children from what crap are you going to do to us or say to us that we're going to have to fend off and make them, oh, everything's great. but we get to those moments. So when a parent sees that, oh my gosh, you got that mentality, but those things is like you said, you got this big giant map of what the world could look like, but to see those moments and to know that there is a person out there are people out there that do it the way that is going to just take our children from seeing it on their level. When we first came in here, or when we first met you, I liked what you were doing when I saw you, but when we met one-on-one, it was weird because you didn't come in and address us. We're so used to, or as the dad, I'm used to being on a chair, couch over here with the doctor looking directly at my wife saying, this is what we got going on here. This is whatever. Tell your meat sack next to you that's carrying the bags. You can tell him in the car what we're talking about. And that's usually what we're used to.
Wow.
You're talking to us and our child is over here doing whatever. And I'm like, did they even look at him? Did he see ever? Was there a moment that I saw that? Yeah. When we went with you, we walked in and it was like, oh, parents, you will go over this way. Hey, and you went automatically.
I'm here for the kids.
You guys are boring. I know plenty of you. But it was that approach. Yeah. And that was the thing. As you said, it started off with this parents and went off to this, to that, and whatever. Yeah. Once we get our claws in something that we know is going to benefit our children, but benefit them in a way that can just start off the whole process of, look what you've just accomplished. You keep on doing this, you can accomplish so much more. And it's just a snowball of events. And we've said it a million times, starting off with you and the way that we did things with our family, and knowing that we're going to do it unique. We're not doing it this way. We want something different. We've already been told no.
Yeah. We're
going to go past the no's. We're going to figure it out. I keep on telling my kids, even today, with them being 22 and my daughter being 17, I'm like, you're going to get told no a lot. Yeah. But if you notice any success stories, there's not one that doesn't start off with, well, I was told no 57 times, and now look where I'm at.
Yeah, learning resiliency.
The thing is like one of the doctors that we worked with, pediatric doctors that we worked with, had said before about, Jacob broke his elbow, Harrison broke his knee, all those things. Yeah. They're like, kids are so resilient. You could throw their bones in a room and they're going to find each other and they're going to grow together and they're going to be stronger. Yeah. And then the same thing with the way they develop. You give them adversities and you give them all these different things, but you show them a path. Yeah. They take to that path. Yeah. They're going to grow stronger.
You support them
and support. They are going to move. And that was the thing that we saw is like, oh my gosh, it's like everything that we've talked about all in one. It's so inclusive. It's just like, it's a Swiss Army, Curtis. Yeah. You're gonna, all these things that pop out. All the good things that pop out, not the bad things that pop out.
Yeah. Just all the things that are supposed to pop out. Or leave it at that. All the normal, damn it, Dwayne.
Why do I go there every time?
Broken. But no. And it's never because that was like what I was taught to do or anything like that. Or
it was genuine.
It just was like, this is what I would want. You know what I mean? Like, it's just classical, like, treat other people as you want to be treated, And now as a parent, it's like, I want to treat the kids as I would want somebody to treat my own child. You know what I mean? Like, it's basics. It's not rocket science. You know what I mean? Just good humaning. You know what I mean? Like, just be cool, be kind, be respectful, love people.
Why is that not accepted in the world? It's something that if we did that with everything, think about what this world would be like. But, I mean,
we're not better.
And as many people want to look at our lives as parents of children with neurodivergent children with disabilities and struggles, again, the head tilt, oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah. No, we get to be a part of things that you'll never get to see. Yeah. And it's like, sucks to be you all. Yeah. And that's funny that we can even say that. And that's the thing is getting, you've assisted us in of getting to a point where we can say some weird stuff. Yeah. Like, look what we get to do. Yeah. Sorry what you get to do. Yeah, you get to, whatever it may be, but look what we get to do. Yeah. And it just is so moving that it leads us on the fact of like, if we can do this, what the hell else can we do? Yeah. And at 50 years old, I feel like I'm like 16 again. Yeah. Once we get to this moments of like all this stuff to watch our kids, like, oh my gosh, now look what we get to do even more. Look what we get to be a part of.
So cool.
So
cool.
This is our music video that we're going to put together. Okay? Okay, I just want you to envision, let's go in the sense of, Smells Like Teen Spirit. Okay? You got the gymnasium, you got the cheerleaders that look gothed out and everything else. Yeah. But I'm gonna change the scene, okay? Let's go. Here we go. We're changing scenes here. Okay, I want you to envision this. Close your eyes. We're in a pool. like a pool area. There's a bunch of like, I think those little rubbery hairnet things that go on. There's a bunch of old women, and then you've got them dancing and back and forth. Totally. I mean, we got some Rage Against the Machine going. You're kicking babies in the pool, and at the very end, you're going, "I'm Curtis. I work with kids." I'm like, yes, you just invent everything all together, and then like all the kids are behind you going, "Oh, this is awesome."
It's like a weird fever dream.
Exactly.
Jeez.
So you're in a sense, your work is like a weird fever dream
It is.
that helps kids out.
Yeah.
It's beautiful and it's so
rad.
awesome. But
It's
why
super
not?
fun.
I feel like I'm burning a little bit. Like it's like seriously, dude, you just come on down to us one of these days. But yes, I mean it's those kind of moments that have made this.
Yeah.
You talk about your chinos and all the stuff, all the different things that you went through.
Sure.
You're that kid in high school since you graduated much later than me, that would be like going, what the hell went wrong in their world? What is that? What is that? You know, that whole thing. Yeah. But it was those moments because I had the same thing, dude. I can remember my I think it was my senior year. I had these green whitewashed pants, jeans.
Yeah.
I had a ribbed tuxedo shirt that we used for choir.
What?
I had a freaking Kirk Cameron perm, and it's like, here I am. And I also wore my they're like slip-on vinyl shiny glossy shoes.
Okay.
Or I would go and I bought bowling shoes.
Was this for like
No.
a play?
No, this was just me going to school.
This is just what you wore? What year did you graduate?
In 90. So
90?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
So you think about, but that's what I looked like.
I was 6.
And then I'm thinking about you. You're talking about your moments, and I'm thinking about mine. I'm like, I wasn't any better.
Yeah.
I had my Cure T-shirts on, all that stuff. It's that was me.
Yeah.
Long hair and just every once in a while I put it in a ponytail, and it was just like, who's this idiot?
Yeah,
but it's having that life and starting in those moments. But you think about all those things that you bind it up all in one. Yeah. It's a weird fever dream that guides us into the world that we live in.
Twisting of the fates of...
Who would be the director of that? I'm just saying, who would direct that video and that movie?
Oh, a video of me?
Oh yeah, I was like, who would be the twisted? What's the?
It'd be like a Taika Waititi, kind of a weird kind of a thing, you know. I'm not too. Christopher Nolan would be far too, you know,
on the nose or what?
Just serious, you know what I mean? No. Oh, the guys, what are they? Will Ferrell and Adam
McKay.
Yeah.
Or the Farley brothers.
Yeah,
I mean, something like that. But
I feel like that would be probably more appropriate, you know, because humor has to. For me, I mean, it's got to be them.
But who did Pearl?
Pearl.
Oh my gosh!
What?
You haven't seen Pearl yet?
It's Pearl.
Oh, sweet Larry.
What?
But the vibrant. It's like you think of like the 1950s movies that they're like, oh, we're gonna add color now. It's the color vision, and it's like so bright and vibrant that you're like, oh
like
gosh,
oh
yeah, it was over. There's something like that. I want it to be bright and vibrant of the But have like the makeup running on the old ladies in the pool, and then they're yelling at you and shaking fingers. Yeah. You gotta have the shaking fingers.
Yeah, I'd have like different people directing different like parts of my life. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It would be like, did you ever see that movie? What was it called? Go, or there were all these like rave scene movies from like the early 2000s when I was like kind of in that like mode.
I have to see.
And they were just like specific like movies for ravers, basically. And there was like crazy stories of like a night out at the club and all the crazy dramas that would happen. It's like that would have to be like the high school years, and then like, you know, college would probably be like a Dead Poet Society of me coming into my own, you know, kind of
stand up on a table,
the more serious,
chair,
like I was finding myself and probably taking myself too seriously on some levels, or not taking it seriously enough, you know, and then the rest of it just an Adam McKay, Will Ferrell, just train wreck of hilarity, but with very touching moments sprinkled in.
I'd say I'd be the touching moments on ours, and it definitely would have to be, but it'd have to be like the spoofs, whoever did the scary movies. You know, that would be more or less that side of it.
Or Judd Apatow.
There you
know
go.
what I mean? Like in that kind of a vein, for sure. Man, it's been a wild ride and a super fun ride for sure. I mean, I can't imagine doing anything else. You know, I always kind of joke. I'm like, really hope this works out because I have no other applicable skills.
No applicable skills to do anything.
I don't know what I would do. I mean, I could do some other, you know, random things, but like, it's super fun. It's a blast, man, to be able to like help people and have fun and provide kids a safe place to go and hopefully find a sense of community, or if nothing else, just a safe place to be with other kids and have some fun and grow a little bit and be shown a different, opposing viewpoint to what they currently had, but not coming from like mom and dad in this like, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. I feel like they just glaze over, and I feel like I've just been very fortunate and blessed to have found a niche in life where I can kind of use the not skills, but just like who I am and my style to do something good with that. So to be able to be fortunate enough to have found a place where I could use these things to do something hopefully good in this world is, I feel like, a thing I should never take for granted or, overlook.
Why am I envisioning like you on the edge of the bed going, I want to rock? You get your fist in the air, little Twisted Sister action, the wall breaks down, and then you just want to do, see, I'm old, kind of old.
You're so old. We're gonna have to
see, there were these bands, and there was a TV show that would show videos called MTV. And,
the place that did like Jersey Shore in the real world? They used to play music?
I know not of these
Oh, it
things.
might be, by the time I was around. I think there was TRL. They had like 1 hour a day where they would still play.
It was called Headbangers Ball.
No, never heard of it. No, never heard of it. Sorry, man.
One of those teachable moments, parents shaking their fingers, and you're like,
my name.
yeah.
Oh man, good times. So yeah, so that's kind of just where I'm at, and I'm very blessed to have been able to have made something that has grown to what it has.
I love utilizing the stupid things I've done in life to tell a story, and to make somebody laugh or smile. But I've said it so many times. There's never gonna be a statue of me for being this parent or this human or whatever. Well, there could be, but it's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be one that the kids like, don't look, children.
Belly or something.
Definitely.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah. I want like really long nipples.
You're a mess. Thanks everybody for tuning in to this episode of Adventures in Neurodiversity. Until next time.